Morning on my YouTubers, on my union workers, on my blue collar workers. So I uploaded a video yesterday. I don't know what was going on. I think it was I recorded in the car and I think the Bluetooth was on or something, but there ended up being no sound, so I took it down. I don't know. We'll see if I can get it. I'm gonna try to do it in the house before I leave for school today. We'll see if we can get a better one today. We'll see if the volume works on this one. So I don't know if I'll be able to remember everything I said because I just be rambling sometimes. But so the moral of the story is there were some changes that happened at the training center. It's Wednesday today, so I already had. Yesterday we were supposed to do crane day. We were supposed to do our final pick for our advanced rigging project, and there was some confusion. The crane was there, but then they had scheduled the crane to be somewhere else because I think the training coordinator had called and said that there were supposed to be windy conditions, so they wasn't expecting to be able to do the crane day. So I think our crane day will be tomorrow. So we end up just jumping ahead doing we got 3 days of foreman training this week. I passed my advanced systems class. That was Monday was the last day of advanced systems. So we still got our final rigging project. And then this is my last full week of school. I think the next the next month I'll go for 2 days just for advancement testing, and then if I pass all my advancement testing, it'll be a fourth year. So there were some things that had came up. I spoke my mind on because it was going to affect me. So that's kind of what I was going to talk about. We got a new training coordinator at the training center. We also have a new construction training coordinator, which is a new position. So because of that, there's some things that have been changing, whatever. Now, I had a situation to where I wasn't going to get I guess I can't say I wasn't going to get. So with us, with 539, what the policy we had was after your first year and after your third year as an apprentice, you'll be automatically rotated to a different contractor if you haven't been laid off or you've been with the same contractor. There's a couple reasons that were explained to me why they do that. One of them is so that we don't get to being job scared and thinking we only work for one contractor. At the end of the day, we're union. We work for whatever contractor has to work. So I understood the philosophy behind that. Also, the other reason was so that we're trying to build journeymen that have all skills, not just one skill. Like we want well-rounded journeymen. That's not me saying that's what we want, but that's what the union wants. We want well-rounded journeymen. So there was, and I believe that this actually is a good example of it. But some apprentices will get pigeonholed in certain situations, so that maybe they'll be with a contractor that just uses them for something super simple like cleanup, or they'll spend their whole time just doing hangers, never do nothing else. End of the day, apprentices are always going to be cheap labor, so a lot of the time we're going to do the jobs nobody else wants to do, like just because they need somebody to do it, obviously, and why would they pay a journeyman their wage to go sweep the floor after they're done? Whatever, that makes sense, I get it. My argument on the situation was, so my first year, I came in a little bit older, so I'm not the perfect example of what most apprentices are. There's a lot of apprentices that come in young, they don't really have a lot of experience in anything, so they're learning on the job. Me, I come from a mechanical background, so for me, I was already a little bit ahead. Like, I knew a lot of this stuff mechanically. I can figure things out. If you explain it to me, show it to me, I can figure out how to do it. So the first year, I was doing a lot of work that was way beyond what I should have been doing as first year. I was welding on pipe. I was running copper, running VAVs, doing system startup, doing what else did we do? We was doing flush and fills. I was doing a lot of different things that were above what a lot of other apprentices were doing. So when I got rotated at the end of my first year, it was not a good thing for me because the company I was working for at the time, they didn't want me to go. I didn't really want to go because I felt like there were still more things on that job that I could have learned, and I was staying busy doing a lot of different things. Like there was always something. I was shadowing the foreman, and I was getting to do a lot of layout. I was getting to see how to do RFIs on blueprints. Like there was a lot of things I was doing as a first year that was way above my pay grade. So I felt like with that contractor, I had an opportunity that I could build a career there and work myself up. And the first year I get transferred to a different company. It's a larger company. they're kind of, I don't know. I don't really want to just sit and talk bad about them, but it wasn't for me anyway. And they had me doing things that were, I felt beneath my position. Like I wasn't learning anything, and I was trying to make arguments to get moved somewhere else. And there was really a lot of loopholes I had to jump through to try to get moved. So as an apprentice, you're not allowed to just drag up and leave to another job. You gotta work until they lay you off. Um, my outlook on things, this is a career path for me, so I'm not trying to do something bad to get laid off because I'm not happy at a place. And we're also not, I don't think we're allowed to ask for a layoff, but I kind of didn't ask for a layoff, but I just let all my foremen know at that contractor, like, hey, look, if you get to the point where you need to lay people off, you're not gonna be hurting my feelings if you let me go. Like, there's a lot of work out there right now, and I could be making money somewhere else, but I'm also not gonna just stop working. Like, I'm gonna keep doing me. Like, I'm not. It's not about the contractor. It's about the other people I work with. Like, I want to make a good impression with them, because I knew somewhere down the line I'm gonna be working with some of the guys, and I still stay in contact with some of the guys I worked with from that contractor. So, there's no hard feelings amongst the fitters, but it was just that contractor. I didn't like the way things ran there. So finally, after like 6 months, I get laid off. Get to the shop I'm at now. Get to take a weld test there. So I'm on the bench from being laid off. A call came out for this contractor. They needed a welder. So they was looking at apprentices. They called 3, 4 other apprentices in my class before they called me. And none of them could pass. They asked them, can you pass a 6G? A lot of them guys said, no, I can't. And they didn't even feel confident to go try it. They hadn't been practicing. Me, I've been ahead of the game. I've been in a training center every time I could, practicing it because I wanted to advance myself, and I knew the only way you're gonna make money as an apprentice is if you're welding. So when the call came to me, I was like, let's go, let's do it. I got this. So I ended up go take the weld test, passed the weld test. It was a little shaky. I wasn't as confident as I should have been, but I passed the bend test. There was no cracks, no inclusions, nothing. So I get on as a welder. They send me out to where I've been for the last year, and I don't know, a little bit over a year anyway. And so that was kind of where I was at. So now coming up on this transfer after third year, I'll be fourth year. That was coming up, and I had been told by a lot of journeymen, like, "Oh, you're good. You was at a different you've been laid off once. Like, you won't be transferred." Come to see the policy, and it turns out the policy was 18 months. If you've been with the same contractor 18 months, whether you've been laid off or not, then that'll be a transfer. So I did the math, and by the time June comes around, I'll have been with that contractor 20 months. So 2 months in, so I started kind of bringing up the issue, like, this is kind of BS, because I'm making a year ahead. I'm making fourth year pay right now. I'm a third year. I make fourth year pay because I'm on as a welder, and this contractor pays me as a welder. If they transfer me, they don't transfer me as a welder. They transfer me as an apprentice. So I get sent to another shop where I don't get that same opportunity to make that same money. So coming up as being a fourth year, I wouldn't get a raise. I would be making the same I've been making for the last year. Now, it is what it is. I'm an apprentice. I got to deal with them situations. But I felt like I was being, I can't say targeted because it wasn't built towards me. Like, this policy was in place, but I was being penalized for getting ahead. Like, and that's one of my big arguments that I've had being an apprentice, is that a lot of times if you try to get ahead, they like to push you back down, and they try to put you in your place, and they'll use other people. Like, they'll use other people as an example on you to try to make it seem like, oh, this is good for everybody, and it's not just you. This is for everybody's well-being. So I had made the argument. I said, well, me taking the call as a welder didn't affect anybody else. They called other people before me, and they couldn't pass the weld test. So me being transferred when I'm in a good shop, in a good situation, is going to be detrimental to me. It's going to be detrimental to my pocket. And of course, I don't have the right as an apprentice to say I should get welder pay, but at this contractor I'm at, I am getting welder pay. So why would you put me in a situation to pull that away? And I mean, I could have went to another shop. Maybe I would have got sent to a place where I would get to weld, maybe not. But I didn't want to take that. I didn't want to shake the dice and take that chance at this point. So it stirred up a whole conversation anyway. I went to the board, and they came in on Monday, and training coordinator made the announcement, said we're no longer doing mandatory transfers. We're gonna make it easier for voluntary transfers, and I'm not the only one. They kind of directed it at me a little bit. They say, hey, this will be good news for at least one person in here. But there's a couple other people that came up to me afterwards that was said and was like, man, I'm glad that this is happening because I got opportunities at this. So for the contractor side, they didn't really like the transfers on the principle of, they looked at it as like, if we're investing, we're training these apprentices, we're investing money in these apprentices. We don't want to train and put all this investment into them. If we see leadership potential or something in them, like we don't want to put all this investment into them, just know they're going to get yanked out before we have the opportunity to keep them. That makes sense. There's pro and cons on both sides, I guess. My whole argument was just financials because that's my motivation. Like I've been working 7 days a week for almost 3 years now. Like I'm trying to get to the next level where I don't have to work that much. And so at the end of the day, I really would like to run work and be a foreman. Like that's kind of where my mind wants me to be. But as an apprentice, you're gonna make most money welding. So that's what I'm focusing on is welding. Doesn't mean I have to just be a welder. Like I don't want to just do that. I want to learn all aspects of our trade, and I want to be somewhere where I'm making not only the most money, but also where I feel like I'm bringing the most value to the team. So that was one change anyway. That was one change, is that no more transfers. So good for me, I think. We'll see in June. I should get, either I'll go up to 5th year or journeyman scale, one of the two. I don't know. I heard that 5th year might actually be a little bit more money just because 5th year pay, you get more put into your vacation than journeyman rate. But I'm not really exactly sure how that works out. I'm not really stressing that. I'm just happy that I'll get a raise. Also, we got contract negotiations coming up in May, so we'll see how that goes, see what we get, extra money on the check or extra money in our benefits or a little bit of both. We'll find that out. I'll probably go to a union meeting tonight after school and go see what they're talking about. Oh, they do got made some announcements. They got a bunch of big work coming up. I guess there's like 3 big data centers that they want to build up here, so that's going to be money for us. We're just waiting on to make sure that it goes through. There's some environmental things I guess they're working through, some litigation on, so that might take a little bit of time. So that was one of the changes. Also, next year for 539, we've been doing, you do like 1 week a month for school, so you don't get paid for that week. So every month you're going to be not getting a week's worth of pay. And for me, I know for me that's been really detrimental. That's kept me, made to where I had to work the weekend job. It makes it hard to manage your bills when you get a whole week where you get no money. Maybe for some guys that don't have anything or starting out younger and they live with their parents or they live in an apartment, like that might be not as bad of a thing. But for me, I own a house. Now I got 2 cars. Like I just need more money. Need to be able to spend it better. So next year, what they're doing is they're going to 1 day a week. And they're hoping that not only will that be beneficial for the apprentices, because number one, you're not going to be waiting a whole month to go back to class. So if you leave off on a day of class and then you come back a month later, you don't really remember. So we end up spending half a day trying to just go over and remember what we were doing last time. So it might be a little bit better to keep our mind fresh on things, to do 1 day a week instead of a whole week a month. I feel like for me, I'm going into being a 4th year and 5th year. That's positive because we're pretty much done with like the welding and stuff. That's pretty much we're at where we're at with that. You can weld on open weld nights, but I think for the most part, we're going to be focusing on our licensing and getting our cards. So I think that'll be good. We'll see how it works out. It'll also be good financially because you're going to check every week. I think it's also good for the contractors because they don't have to plan a whole week around not having an apprentice there. So there's some pluses and minuses to that too. I also heard, I ain't really got this confirmed yet, but it sounds like, so at the end of our year, we'll do testing. Like after this last week of school here, we'll have advancement testing for 2 days. The advancement testing was put in when they started doing day school. Basically, the training committee wanted to see they wanted a way to gauge and see if the day school was doing what they want to do. They wanted to see if they're getting better results from it. I heard that they might be getting rid of the advancement testing. I don't know if there's a lot of things changing, man. Like we got the new training coordinator, and they're just trying to shuffle things up and trying to see what could be better, what could be work out better. Um, I don't know, advancement testing. I can see a plus and a minus for that. Like I'm not a test taking guy. Like I don't like tests. But I also do feel like it is kind of good. I hate saying that because, man, I just hate tests. But advancement testing, like a lot of foremen that I've, or not a lot of foremen, a lot of journeymen I've worked with, they've never had to take advancement testing because they went when it was still night school. And I don't know, man. Some of them are real smart. Some of them, it's like I can tell you didn't have to take advancement testing because you don't know too much about these certain subjects. But I don't know, man. I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm happy because I don't have to take tests, but at the same, and I think it depends on the year too. Like I said, the next 2 years for me is going to be mostly focusing on licensing and code. So that should kind of be our advancement. Like we have to get we have to get our licenses, state and local licenses. That's kind of the advancement for fourth and fifth year. But like for a first or second year, like how do you know if they picked up on anything? Like advancement testing might be a good thing still. Like I don't know. It wasn't that hard first and second year if you paid attention. I'm notorious for not studying, so I passed it. So I mean, like I said, I ain't nobody special. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's just a lot of changes going on, so I'm just kind of excited to see what's gonna happen here. Um, that's kind of what my video yesterday was about. It didn't. I don't know why I didn't have sound. I think like I said, I think it was because of the Bluetooth and the bands was picking up. So this one's gonna be a little bit longer, but I don't know. I guess it's same information. There's some good things happening. Changes, change is good. That's kind of what I had labeled the video yesterday, and I feel like there's always opportunity in chaos. It's always been like that in my life. I've always noticed that anytime it's a chaotic situation, there's always some kind of opportunity you can get from that. So that's just kind of a little update on me on the schooling. Obviously, anybody out there watching from somewhere else, the apprenticeship, every apprenticeship is going to be a little bit different. It's not just what I'm just telling you is happening with my local or my apprenticeship is not necessarily going to be what's happening with everybody's apprenticeship. But these type of things do happen. Like there's changes that are made in the middle of the year, or you go to the next year, there might be something different. It's always trying to change. Everybody's always trying to see where they can get more better results or be more effective, and everybody learns at a different rate and everybody has a different experience. So I mean, I know it's hard for them to make changes that's going to make everybody happy, and I wasn't the only one that had brought up the issue on the transfers. There was somebody else that had got screwed out of money due to it. So I don't know that I was the only one, but I definitely spoke up on it and got the ball rolling. And for better or worse, I should be getting a raise this year. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna go walk this puppy, man, and get ready to go to school. But I hope everybody has a good day. Hopefully, you guys can hear this video when I upload. I'm gonna try to upload it on the Wi-Fi instead of on my cell phone. For some reason, we get terrible service over by training center, which is weird. So anyway, everybody have a good day out there. Hope everybody winning. Hope you see changes happening. Don't be scared of them. That's always going to be the time when you can advance yourself during some kind of change, some kind of when it looks like there's a lot of things going on and you're not really sure. Like just be confident and stick with your plan, man, and things are going to work out. So with that, everybody have a good day.